Hey guys, it is Wemi here, and you guys already know this by now, but I'm pregnant. So I have been meaning to do weekly updates, like starting at like week 7 or so. I was gonna do weekly or like bi-weekly or something, but honestly guys, I have been sick since getting pregnant. First it was nausea, then the sickle cell kicked in, so I just I've never been feeling well enough to sit here and like talk and record and do all that. So today is the day. So today I am 11 weeks pregnant according to my last menstrual period, but according to my most recent ultrasound, I am 11 weeks and 3 days? Yeah, 11 weeks and 3 days pregnant, according to my most recent ultrasound. So, whatever, 11 weeks. Let's just call it that. So, what am I here to talk about today? Everything and anything. So, TMI alert. I'm not sure what's going to come out here. If you don't want to hear anything too crazy, you can, not watch. Just letting you know I'm probably just going to talk. And also, it'll be a little bit of a longer video. You guys probably already know that by the time you clicked on this, just because I want to cover everything. And then my videos going forward will hopefully be much shorter. So let's get started. A lot of things I'm going to talk about in the beginning, Dave and I have probably already covered in our like announcement video and all that. But I'll just briefly touch on them again in case you didn't watch that or whatever, or you accidentally landed on this video. So getting pregnant, boom. Dave and I have been married now for, what is it, a year and a month? Something like that. So not very long. We started trying when we got married. It took us a while to get pregnant the first time around, but our first official pregnancy, I think I had some chemical stuff, some chemical pregnancies and stuff earlier, but whatever, I don't really count. I don't count those, but I never saw a positive test because I wasn't really taking them at that point. So, but I think that because my period is extremely regular, and I had a few months where my period was just 2.5 weeks late, which is just not like me. So our big official big fat positive was in April. Yes, it was in April. It was actually Good Friday of 2015. It was April 4th or something like that. It was our first big positive. We're super excited. We recorded a bunch of videos for you guys. But unfortunately, we had a miscarriage. We had a miscarriage at the end of May. It was a super long miscarriage process. We went for our 8-week ultrasound. They couldn't find a heartbeat. They said the baby was measuring 2 weeks behind. They're like, oh, you sure don't have your dates wrong? I was like, nah, B, I have my dates right because I've been temping, doing ovulation tests. I've been marking things down every day. So I was like, my dates are right. So I kind of knew something wasn't right at that point. And then after that ultrasound, I did some blood work, and they're like, your HCG levels are still rising, so that's a good sign. And then we went on a trip, work trip, and during the work trip, the miscarriage started. I started bleeding while we were in the States. We went to a hospital in the States, and they confirmed that I was having a miscarriage. They said, it'll run its course over a couple of days, and you'll pass a large tissue. Again, TMI, I'm so sorry. You'll pass a large tissue or whatever. That didn't happen for me. I bled for about 2 weeks, and nothing was happening. I kept going to the doctor every couple of days and be like, hey, what's up? Nothing's going on here. So by the 2-week mark, I was in so much pain. I could barely work. I could barely sit. I was in so much pain. Dave and I went to an emergency room, whatever, the hospital. They ran some tests, and they're just like, yeah, unfortunately, your ultrasound isn't open overnight, so can you come back in the morning? I was just like, it's kind of bull, so whatever. Went back home, went back the next morning, did an ultrasound, and they're like, yeah, there's definitely, things are still in there, so we don't know what's going on. So they sent me to an OB, and the OB was just like, yeah, it's just taking a little while. We'll give you some misoprostol to get the process going, and it'll take about 48 hours. And if you can work from home and take a couple of days off work, that would be great. I was like, deal. Got home, messaged, this was a Monday morning, got home and sent a message to work and said, hey, I'll be working from home for the next couple of days. I'm not sure how many days, but just, you know, not feeling well, I'll be working from home. They were like, cool, sounds good. About an hour after taking the pill, guys, hell broke loose. Like, all hell broke loose. I ended up having a crisis, pretty much literally like an hour after. Dave came home that evening. We went to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. Ended up having a DNC because the pills they couldn't work because I was having a crisis. I was losing a lot of blood from that, and then I was having a crisis, so my blood level was low. So the hospital was like, you know what, we'll go in and take care of it ourselves. So they did. So that was a very difficult time for us, but you know, it happened. It is what it is. We didn't share it with you guys at that time because we hadn't told a lot of our family members. So we felt like it'd be weird to, like, you know, record a video for you guys and having not told our family. We felt like that was kind of weird. And then we also felt that it'd be weird to call our family after everything happened and be like, hey guys, we're pregnant, but we lost it. So we didn't want to go through all that, you know, that sadness all over again, so we just let it go. Fast forward 2 months later, July, you know, they said, after you have the procedure, wait 1 cycle before you start trying again. We're like, all right, cool. So we tried again 1 cycle, nothing happened. Next cycle came along, and boom, August, got a big fat positive. I was praising the Lord, hallelujah, God give you all the glory. Like, you guys saw that video. Oh my gosh, uber excited, but also uber cautious just because of our previous experience, you know. But here we are at 11 weeks. So getting pregnant, in terms of the process, well, y'all know how that happens. But in terms of the female part of things, I was doing ovulation tests, and I was tracking my temperature, my basal temperature every morning, because a lot of people are just like, you know, you're control freak, just let it happen, you know, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, which I'm totally like, I totally believe that, and I'm definitely like that. But at the same time, I also believe in doing what you can do to help things out. So in my opinion, it was, I'm going to do what I can do to do it right, and if God wills it, then it will happen. Like, because the first time around I was tracking as well, and it took us, you know, like 7 months or so. So it's like, you just never know. So I wanted to do that to feel better about doing my best towards getting pregnant. So anyways, that's how that process happens. If you guys want to know more about like my ovulation test and basal temp and stuff, comment below. I'll be more than happy to let you know. Moving on. Did I know I was pregnant? I have that written here. Yes, it's funny because I had a very, very, very strong feeling I was, just because I was temping my temperatures. And when I was pregnant the first time, my temperature was like a triphasic cycle is what they call it. So the first time around my temperature was like that, and that was the only time in the last year that my temperature had been triphasic, was when I was pregnant the first time. So this time around I was tracking my temperature as usual, and I noticed, you know, about 2 days before my period was due that, hey, my chart is triphasic. And I was like, nah, don't get excited, don't get too excited, don't get crazy. But I did. So I started taking tests every morning and I saw a faint line the first night, and I was like, I don't know if that's a line. Am I just making things up because I'm crazy? Waited the second day, still a faint line, but it felt darker to me. Still wasn't sure until eventually one of the girls in my pregnancy group was like, you know what, just go get a digital test and it'll tell you yes or no, so we don't have to do this whole line guessing thing. And I did, and boom, pregnant, done. So I did know, just kind of based on that, and also based on being super tired. Super tired, could barely make it through the day at work without like wanting to nap. P.S. If you guys hear noise in the background, it's our dishwasher. I apologize. I'm trying to like speed this up. It's already been like 10 minutes. So pregnancy symptoms that I've had. Guys, it's been a roller coaster, as I said. So I found out I was pregnant at about 4 weeks. And I'd say that, like, as I said, I was already getting tired before I found out I was pregnant. I was very exhausted. So the first 2 weeks or so, I'd say it was exhaustion. Just, I couldn't do a thing. Like, it was no joke. Get home from work and I'd be like, sleep time. You guys might have noticed that in our vlogs, there was a period where I was sleeping a lot. Yeah, it's because I was pregnant. I just couldn't stay awake for nothing. So like, we couldn't record vlogs because all I would do was sleep. As soon as I was home from work, sleep. Dave would make dinner and I'd wake up, eat, sleep. So anyways, so that was my first, I'd say 2 weeks or so, was just extreme fatigue. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm tired. It's like I can't keep my eyes open. I couldn't get up the stairs. I was so exhausted. And then came the nausea. Whoo! First time around, I was super exhausted, but I wasn't as nauseated. I wasn't nauseated at all, I'd say. But this time, that nausea came with a vengeance. So, I was so nauseated, I never threw up, thank God. Never threw up, but that sick, I'm about to throw up feeling was 24/7, all day, every day. It was so bad that one day we were driving to work, and we drove by a lady that was walking her dog, and she had a bag of dog poop. Guys, I was just, the entire car ride, I was like, the entire car ride, I was ready to throw up. It was so bad. So I was sensitive to, to things I would see. I was sensitive to smell. I could not go grocery shopping because I'd be in the grocery store and it's just like, oop, that smells bad, I'm going to throw up. Oop, that smells bad, I'm going to throw up. So I stopped going grocery shopping and I was like, we're just going to eat what we have at home for the next couple of weeks. I'm not going grocery shopping. We have enough food, enough of like a stock supply. I stock up usually for like a month or so of groceries. I was like, we're good for a while. I'm not going grocery shopping. I was also sensitive to smells. So just everything. The only thing I could eat without wanting to throw up was extremely spicy stuff. That was the only way. Until, God bless my pregnancy group. One day I was just like, I ate breakfast, we left home, got to work. So as I got to work, I was like, I'm starving. Like, I was starving, guys. I was like, yo, I just ate. So I posted in my pregnancy group, I was just like, hey ladies, like, am I the only one who just ate breakfast an hour ago and is starving like a child who has not eaten in weeks? And a lot of the girls just like, yeah, that happens. That's happening to me right now. They're like, what you have to do is eat every hour. They're like, not only does that prevent you from feeling like you're starving, but, catch this, it helps with the nausea. And I was like, nah, y'all are lying. So, I got in the car at work. I was like, I'm going to go to Canadian Tire and buy some snacks. So I drove over to the store. I bought like some animal crackers, some candy, bag of chips. I was like, alright, let's do this. And I ate every hour. And guys, since then, nausea, bye-bye. It was like a blessing from them. That little secret tip. So that really helped me out. And ever since then, I would just, if I didn't eat within like an hour, yeah, I would be nauseated. Instantly, without even like, it was just back. And that would usually be, I'm like, hey, let me eat something. That's why you're nauseated. So I just ate a lot of stuff. I have like a drawer at work right now that is stuffed with food. I'm telling you, like Tostitos, animal crackers, frozen, like just everything, just food is there for me when I need it. So that helped with the nausea. Didn't vomit. And I'd say that's about it. My boobs just started hurting, I'd say like 3 or 4 days ago. Before that, my boobs were completely fine, but 3 or 4 days ago, they've been extremely like, that hurts. But apart from that, all's been good. And I think that's all I really have in terms of pregnancy symptoms. I've had like round ligament pain and stuff, but that's just normal. Then moving on to sickle cell interactions with things. Whew, guys. So the first 9-10 weeks of pregnancy, completely fine. Didn't even feel like sickle cell. I was just like, yo, we got this. Like, we got this. Completely fine. I was drinking my water. Like, I was going through 5 or 6 of these a day. And this is a 24-ounce, what'd you call it? Mug? Tumbler? Tumbler. There we go. 24-ounce tumbler. So I was going through 5 or 6 of these a day. Like I was drinking my water, I was staying, like keeping everything good until the weather dropped. Like I survived France because I was pregnant in France. You guys probably would figure that out by now. I was pregnant in France. I survived France, no problem. And there were many days in France where I was not staying hydrated. There was a day that it rained. You guys might remember that, where it rained the entire day. Didn't get sick. We even walked in the rain. I was good. Until the weather dropped on this side of the planet. You guys might remember when there was Hurricane Joaquin, I think was what it was called. When it was hit in the Bahamas and stuff, our weather up here took a huge dip. And my body was like, oop, I don't like that. Sick time. So literally, like, I was good. One day, boom, crisis. I was not happy, guys. Thankfully, I had seen my high-risk OB literally the Friday before the weather dropped. The weather dropped on Monday. I saw my OB on Friday. And I had asked her, if I get into a crisis, like, what do I do? Because I'm so nervous with being pregnant. Like, what does that mean to me? What does it mean for the baby? Like, what do we do? She's like, it's always better to treat it at home than let it get bad to the point of the hospital. So she's told me, she said, feel free to take morphine, do whatever you need to do at home to keep things at bay as soon as something hits. She said, don't wait until it's severe. Don't wait until you can't take it anymore. As soon as it hits, do something and get rid of that pain as soon as you can. So when that pain hit on Monday, guys, popped that morphine. I was so sad. I felt so defeated because in my head, it was just like, I don't want to hurt my baby. And it's like the mother instinct kicks, and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything that could jeopardize my baby. So I was like, I don't want to take morphine. I really didn't want to do it. But I was like, you know what? We're in this situation, so let's do it. So I took morphine, took it twice. By Tuesday, like afternoon, I was kind of fine, doing all right. I was able to, cope without any painkillers. I was still extremely like exhausted and drowsy from the morphine, but that's just side effects. And then Tuesday night, we're coming back from our life group and opened the car door to come in the house, and there was just a gust of wind blew and it hit my arm, and it was over, guys. I was back in bed crying that night. Had to take morphine again, and it was like a different spot, like because the first time was my right arm, the second day it was my left arm. So I took morphine again. I was pretty sad about that. Like I was devastated, but it is what it is. So I took morphine again. And yeah, by that one, I'd say it took a little bit longer to get rid of that pain, but whatever, it was gone. I was fine by Thursday, completely fine by Thursday. And then literally, guys, just yesterday, at 10 weeks and 6 days, again, my left flag was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this. So that started hurting. So again, last night I took morphine. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if this continues. Like, I'm gonna be on bed rest in like 2 weeks or something, because I cannot keep getting sick like this. Like, it's barely, like, it's not winter cold outside yet. It's still like kind of early fall, so it just doesn't make sense. My body is not liking the weather at all. I know it's because the baby's putting extra stress on me, but it's just like, I don't want to do this to my baby. I don't want to do this to my body right now, but gotta do what you gotta do. So I touched on my OB, so I'm going to go to that real quick because I have that on here. So I have a regular OB that I see, an obgyn or whatever. But because I have sickle cell, I see a special OB, a high-risk OB who deals with maternal, what they call it, maternal medicine or something like that is what it's called. So she deals with me because I have sickle cell. So she's my OB, and she's, oh my goodness, phenomenal so far. So far, absolutely love her. So she's been very helpful, giving me a lot of information, and that's just what it is. I see a high-risk OB because I, as a mother, am a high risk, and they want to make sure they keep an eye on the baby's growth, because with sickle cell, it can create low birth weight, and I think they said about 24, 25 weeks, it can start to affect the growth of the baby. So they like to keep an eye on those things and make sure that mother doesn't get preeclampsia, because you're more susceptible to getting preeclampsia, and a couple of other things. I can't remember right now, but when I do next time, I'll cover it for you guys. So that's what they've said. And then that's about it for my OB. Nothing crazy, nothing special. I'm going to be going there more often than most pregnant people do because, again, as I said, they got to keep a close eye on me. Okay. I have apps, Doppler, books. What do we do first? Let's do books and prenatals because I'm looking at it right now. So prenatals, I am taking PregVit Folic 5, and it's just a multivitamin, a pregnancy prenatal vitamin with 5 milligrams of folic acid because normal prenatals don't have 5 milligrams. So I take this. I've been taking it since the first time I got pregnant. I didn't stop taking it, mainly because initially I was taking a normal over-the-counter prenatal, but my OB said this was much better for me given my situation, and also because if you have sickle cell, a lot of sickle cell people are iron, I don't know what the medical term is, but pretty much you have too much iron in your system, so you never want to take iron supplements. And normal prenatals have iron supplements, and she didn't want me doing that. So with this, I only take the blue pill. So there's blue and there's pink. I only take the blue because the pink is AM, this is PM, and AM has iron in it. So I don't touch that at all. I only deal with this side of things every day. So that's my little blister pack. It comes in 15-day like blisters, and I have like enough for 3 months at a time. Books. What books have I been reading? Oh, I forgot 2 of them. That's okay. I'll put the description below. You guys have already seen me reading this since like we got married, but the Mother of All Pregnancy books. Especially if you're Canadian, this book is awesome because it actually has Canadian references. A lot of other books are American, and the references and the numbers they give you and stuff are for American resources, which you can't really use them if you're Canadian. So this book is awesome because it has Canadian resources, numbers, Canadian data, all that good stuff. I'm also doing Waiting in Wonder. It's a daily, like a kind of devotional / journal for you and baby. So you write things in there for baby. It has prayer points daily for you, for mother and baby. We're also doing pregnancy. I'll put that one below. I can't remember what it's called right now, but pregnancy something. And that one's really awesome. It has great, it does it on a weekly basis. It has great prayer points for just weekly praying for baby and weekly things to think about that's actually happening to baby during that time. So that's awesome. I've also purchased a baby Doppler, or fetal Doppler is what they actually call it. I purchased a fetal Doppler at 7 weeks, and I was able to pick up baby's heartbeat at, I think it was 9 weeks and 1 day. Yeah, 9 weeks and 1 day, I think. I looked every day, guys. It arrived on like 7 weeks and 6 days. So between then and 9 weeks and 1 day, I checked every day for this baby's heartbeat. I couldn't find it, which they say like it's still way too early at that point. But I was still like, come on, baby, I know you want me to hear you. But finally, at 9 weeks and 1 day, I picked up my baby's heartbeat, and guys, it was the best sound in the world. Best sound in the world. So I'm not gonna lie, I listen quite often. I've tried to reduce it now to like every 2 or 3 days. But when I was taking the morphine pills, I did it every day just because I was more nervous and stuff. So this is a fetal Doppler that I have. It's the Sonoline B. Yeah, Sonoline B is what it's actually called. And yeah, love it. It's great. It came with the ultrasound gel and stuff, and I used that. You guys, you probably by now I should have put up a video of when I found the baby's heartbeat and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. I enjoy my Doppler, and I think I've covered. Gosh, I've been talking for a long time. I'm so sorry, guys. Apps. So I'm kind of crazy, just a little bit. I use a lot of apps, and it's because it's funny. I use them all for different reasons. That's the thing. Each app has its like advantages. So because of that, I just use them all. Call me crazy. Yeah, so I use Glow Nurture, Pregnancy Plus, I'm Expectant, Baby Center, The Bump, Ovia Pregnancy, Sprout, and then Oh Baby Pregnancy Weekly Workout, which I have not done yet because I have been too sick, so I've been too scared to work out and just make things worse for myself. But I'm looking forward to second trimester workouts, baby. But those are the apps I use. I'll put them in the description box below if anyone's interested in them. I just don't want to like show them all to you. But here's one of my this is like Sprout. I use Sprout because this is the only reason I use it. Because it does that. Look. So that's like our baby right now. And like you can move it and it even has a little penis. I'm such a child. There, you guys can see it. There you go. I know I'm such a kid. Ah! No, baby, don't turn. There you go. But I enjoy the apps that I use. Those are the apps I use. My favorites are Glow Nurture and Pregnancy Plus. Those I use daily. The rest of them I kind of just check in with every now and then. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. Maybe I'll do a belly shot for you guys now. There's really not much to see at this point. Mainly because I've also lost weight. I've lost about 3 pounds since being sick. I was gaining weight and then I got sick and I've lost 3 pounds. But yeah, I'll do that for you guys and we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for sticking with my long video. I promise the future videos will be much shorter because I wanted to cover all this stuff again. So that's it. Hope you guys stay with us on our journey. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, I am more than willing to share, talk to you. If you've experienced pregnancy loss, please reach out if you want to talk about it because I've been there and I know it's hard. Our loss happened at about 9 or 10 weeks. So yeah, I know it can be very hard and I'm always willing and ready to help anybody who is dealing with that because yeah, it's a difficult time. Alrighty, thanks guys. So there's my belly at 11 weeks or 11 weeks and 2 days, however you want to call it. There, not much. My pants aren't buttoned because I can't really button them without it just squeezing the life out of me. Yeah, it's a problem. It hurts. It's not comfortable, as you guys can see. So they're not buttoned. That's kind of how I roll now. But thanks guys.